Am I the arsehole? Real stories, raw judgments. You decide. This story's by Head Exchange. Hey y'all, I need some perspective on this. For context, I love my friends and family. Most of my friends are from Guatemala, but I am not. Here, they have a tradition where, while blowing out the candles, they push the birthday person's face into the cake. I hate this. I've seen accidents, skewers in cakes, piercing faces, concussions, broken noses from hitting the bottom of the table, and beyond that, I just find it incredibly disrespectful to have anything thrown at my face. I've never done this to others, and I always ask not to have it done to me. I don't care if they do it to each other, but I don't engage. Despite this, my parents have been pressuring me for 6 years to just go along with it because it's their culture. My stance is simple. I don't do it to them, and I don't mind them doing it among themselves, so why should I be forced into doing something I don't want? Every year I've dodged it, refusing to get near the cake, tackling one of their attackers to the ground, or whatever it takes. I've asked nicely, but that never works. So this year, like last year, I made it clear, if they try, I will leave. They can keep partying, but I'm out. And now they're mad at me for threatening them. And honestly, this is exactly why I hate when people acknowledge my birthday or try to celebrate it. It's gotten to a point where I'd rather not have a party at all than deal with this nonsense every year. I don't want gifts and I don't want anything extravagant. I just want to enjoy my time with my friends and family without getting hurt or disrespected. Is it really too much to ask for one small boundary on my birthday? Am I being unreasonable? Here's the update. It's been 8 hours and I got so many responses. I've done my best to read them all and respond to as many as I can, but it's super hard. So here's the update. A friend gave me a hint that the cake thing was going to happen and told me to talk to the organiser. Turns out the organiser had no idea about this whole tradition because he's never been to one of my parties before. He was planning to do it because he simply didn't know that I had an issue with it, or that everyone else were the ones who kept ignoring me. I called him and explained why I have a problem with it, and that, if it was going to happen, I wouldn't want to go. He completely understood and assured me that it would not happen. I have no idea how he's going to pull that off, but we'll see. This is the second edit. So the ending to this whole thing was pretty anticlimactic. In the end, the person that made the cake gave a speech to everyone while I was in the bathroom.
That if anyone tried to smash my face into the cake, they would get charges filed by him personally.
I don't think that's exactly how it works, but in the end they were really respectful. I had a great time with them and they were extremely thoughtful in everything. Thank you so much for all your support, and I'll be back with another update. This story is by Feathered Berries. Just a trigger warning, this story contains essay. A few months ago, I was concerned about some bumps on my tongue that I've had for a while. So as any kid living in their parents' house does, I asked my mother. She simply told me that it was my taste buds being larger, closer to the back of my tongue, and that it was normal. She followed with something like, "Why? Are you having unsafe sex?" I responded,
No,
and that I
just had them for a while now and was worried it was from when I was SA'd as a kid.
To my surprise, she responded with, "What? That makes no sense. There was never any skin contact." When she said that, it baffled me. Some background is, when I was younger, a babysitter and a family friend had SA'd me when I was about 4 or 5 years old. There was skin contact, and I remember it like yesterday, even despite the age it happened. Eventually, after months of this, my family somehow found out and stopped talking to her. This is where my mother failed me. Not even a year had passed, and the babysitter was around again. Not alone with me at first, but eventually my mum would leave us in the car together, or in the house, or get her to take me places. She never did anything again, but looking back on the assault, it was enough to question why my mother would ever allow this. Back to the present. I told her there was skin contact many times. She looked mortified. She then said something along the lines of, "But she didn't say that." Naturally confused, I asked her what she meant. Apparently the babysitter had told her,
No, it was your kid that wanted it and made me do it because it felt good.
At this point, I'm dumbfounded. My mother believed that her 5-year-old kid told his babysitter to assault him. What the fuck? I asked, and you believed her? You took it as good enough and left me with her multiple times afterwards. She goes, No, I brought her back because she got therapy. She really regrets what she did and she's had a rough home life. This is when I returned to my room. It's been months, but I'm still shaken up that she would believe my assault aside like that. I'm aware that the babysitter getting therapy is good, but I hate how my mother would go back to trusting within a span of a year or so, let alone leave me with her again. She's completely acted like that conversation never occurred and hasn't given me much closure as to why she would have believed her. It's currently 2 a.m. typing this, and it'll probably get lost in the subreddit, but I've been needing to get this off my chest. The situation makes me feel so gross, and I feel so betrayed by my family for this. Am I the arsehole for being upset with her for this whole thing? Or do I even have the right to be after this long? This story's by Easy Plankton. I, 13 female, finally fell pregnant after trying for 5 years. We recently had our 12-week scan and the baby is healthy. Me and my partner were overjoyed. At this point, I decided to tell my family. My family was absolutely thrilled, as they know this journey hasn't been easy for us. My sister, who's 28, already has 3 children, and is currently 30 weeks pregnant with her 4th. And like a damn child, she's acting like I'm stealing her thunder, even though I'm doing no such thing on purpose. I know my sister and what she's like, but even I'm a little put off and surprised by her behaviour. Little comments she makes, little digs and stuff like that, because she wants all the attention on her. And although her pregnancy is no less important and a happy occasion for our family, I feel like my news being so fresh and the fact that we've been trying for so long and this is our first, there is perhaps a tiny bit more of a celebratory vibe to my pregnancy due to the circumstances. But nothing crazy or anything. My parents and family still dote on my sister just as much as they dote on me during this time. But my sister is just, well, lack of a better word, a little petty and a drama queen. We were visiting my parents yesterday for dinner. My sister was there too with her kids, and my mother greeted me by saying hello and then rubbing my belly with a giddy chuckle. And my sister, who was already there, rolled her eyes and said, "You didn't greet me like that." My mum clicked her tongue and said,
"Oh, don't be silly."
An hour or so passes, and then one of my very boisterous nephews has this toy mallet thing and hit my stomach, to which I kind of moved away and said,
"No, careful, don't do that."
My sister says, "Oh, for God's sake, get a grip," which naturally then started an argument. I said, "Don't tell me to get a grip, I'm pregnant, and I don't want him to hit me in the stomach with a toy." She responds, "So am I, and you don't see me being pathetic like that." So I said, "You're on your 4th child. This is my first time. So sorry if I'm a little paranoid. You know my situation and how long I've waited for this." And she rolls her eyes and started making comments again about how my pregnancy is like the second coming of Christ, which really upset me, to be honest. So much so that we left, because I just didn't want to deal with it. Before leaving, I called her a nasty, petty bitch. I haven't spoken to her since yesterday, and to be absolutely honest, I don't even want to right now. My mum is so upset over this fight, but I told her how I felt and just said that I didn't want to talk about this right now. Was I the arsehole? Was what I said justified? This story's by Successful Table. It was my birthday yesterday. I turned 20. However, my parents berated me all day and I don't know what I did wrong. I ended up sitting in front of my bedroom door to stop them coming in, while I had a breakdown and kept asking to be left alone. My mother kept pushing me to go out driving with her, since I'm learning to drive, and I told her I wasn't in the right headspace to drive at all. I was told that driving and going to uni is a waste of money for my parents, and it made me feel like a massive burden. Both my parents have also told me to get out, and they don't care where I go, or that I have basically no money. My partner has been helping me look for flats. I'm in the UK and he's in the USA, and he agrees I need to get out of this house. My work coach is helping me find a cheap accommodation on Thursday because he agrees I need to get out of there too. I told my mother that maybe her and my dad would be better off without me, and I wouldn't be such a burden on them, and she proceeded to call me silly, didn't once say I'm not a burden and try and understand me. My dad also decided to turn around and say that he enjoyed my birthday dinner when he went to bed, and I told him I didn't enjoy any of my birthday, and he told me that he was glad and he wished he didn't make me a birthday cake. Tomorrow, my dad is going to be having an operation, and today, my dad told me that because I'm not going out driving after being insulted and given ultimatums right when I woke up, he's going to be even more unsad at his operation tomorrow. That's been everyone's excuse for his behaviour. He's stressed about his operation. It's not an excuse about how he treats me, because he only treats me like a verbal punching bag. It's been this way for 9 years. I was adopted nearly 15 years ago, and when I started high school at age 11, I just seemed to do everything wrong. I was diagnosed with autism when I was 18, and my family has made no attempt to understand me, so I'm holding a lot of resentment towards my family about that. But my parents are acting like I'm the arsehole for not wanting to go out driving, and it makes me feel like crap, because I feel like a terrible daughter for not doing everything they want me to, but I am my own person, and they don't treat me like I am. So, am I the arsehole for not wanting to go out driving with my parents? The Am I the Arsehole podcast is not affiliated with Reddit or any other online message boards. All the stories featured are narrated and produced with the author's permission. Please email me your stories to amithearseholepodcast@gmail.com if you'd like to hear your stories read in future programmes. And that's spelled AITAH podcast@gmail.com. You can also check in the show notes for the email. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time. Take care.